Hello again, and welcome back to DocTrack User Training. For this lesson, we're going to discuss how DocTrack works with copy activities. You'll find various forms that allow you to copy different kinds of records. DocTrack is integrated with 4 of these copy utilities: Copy Orders and Estimates, Copy Routing Bills of Material, Copy Purchase Orders, and Move Prospect to Customer. When DocTrack is installed, it modifies these 4 forms by adding a checkbox labeled Copy DocTrack. If that box is checked when records are copied, then both the header and the lines of the new records will have the same attachments as the original. If you copy these records without checking this box, the record's header and lines will still have the same virtual, window, and indirect attachments. However, they won't have any of the direct record attachments of the original. To demonstrate this, let's look at this purchase order for bicycle seats. We issued it to vendor number 1, Bicycle Parts Company. Before we copy anything, let's take a look at the attachments. On the PO header, it has one record attachment, which is the purchase order report we created. And it has one indirect attachment of the folder that we attached to the bicycle parts vendor record. Next, let's glance at the lines. There's only one line to this PO, and it also has 2 attachments. The first is a direct record attachment of an email confirming that the seats will be expedited. And the second is a virtual attachment from the item pictures rule. I'm going to demonstrate how the Copy DocTrack box works by copying this purchase order, and I plan to copy it twice. The first time checking the Copy DocTrack box, and the second time leaving it blank, so that we can compare the two. I'll select Copy PO, enter my original PO number here, check the Copy DocTrack box, and click Process. Okay, that's the first one. Now I'll clear the new PO number field, uncheck the Copy DocTrack box, and select Process again. Now I want to look at them both. But first, let's go over what we expect to see. With the first one that was copied with the box checked, we expect to see both the direct and indirect attachments on the PO header, as well as both of the direct and virtual attachments on the PO line. Okay, let's take a look. I'll go back to the purchase orders form and filter for the first new PO. And here are both of the attachments copied from PO 120. The first is a record attachment of the purchase order, and the second is the indirect attachment of the folder. That's the PO header. Now let's take a look at the PO line. And we see 2 of them here as well. The first is the direct record of the confirmation email, and the second is a virtual attachment from the item pictures rule. It has all of the attachments of the original. Now let's talk about what we expect to see with the next PO, the one that we created, leaving the Copy DocTrack box unchecked. Since we didn't expect any of the direct attachments to be copied, we should only see the indirect folder attachment on the PO header and the virtual attachment on the PO line. I'll go back to the purchase orders form, refilter for the second new PO number, And once again, check out DocTrack Flex. Here we see the PO record only has the indirect folder attachment. And the line only has the virtual attachment, just as we expected. There's something important to keep in mind here. Just because you can copy direct attachments to the new record doesn't always mean that you should. For example, in this case, the direct attachment we copied to the new PO header was the purchase order report for a different PO. Likewise, the direct attachment we copied to the line was a confirmation of expected delivery for a different PO. In this case, I'd probably not check Copy DocTrack if I was to copy this purchase order in a real-life situation. Well, that about does it for now. Join us next time when we look at the Job Document Book. See you then.